Thank you for joining us on the newsroom. I am Abisola Adebayo. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has issued a fresh warning over Lassa fever cases, which is said had risen to 4,632 and recorded 102 deaths. The center, in its latest advisory, warned Nigerians of the possibilities of Lassa fever presenting malaria-like symptoms such as fever, headache, sore throat, among others. The center explained that since the last outbreak of the disease in 2016, there had been an increase in the number of recurring cases, adding that it had since sent letters to states on the dangers of Lassa fever and the symptoms to look out for. Following recent cases of ritual killings as well as kidnappings and other criminal activities, Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong has again vowed to make the state unbearable for criminals. Governor Lalong made this known while speaking at an international church service to mark the 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, an emblem appeal launched during the weekend. Lalong expressed outrage over the recent cases of ritual killings in Jos, as well as kidnappings, which have become a source of concern to the government and the citizens. He however noted that the state has stiff laws against kidnappings and other violent crimes, which include death penalty, warning that anyone convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction will not be spared. The Kaduna State government has directed all public schools in the state to migrate to the 4-day working week as schools reopen on January 10th for the second term of the 2021-2022 academic session. The State Commissioner for Education, Ali Malawa, in a statement on Monday, explained that the government would adjust the academic calendar to ensure coverage of the curriculum for the academic session. According to the statement, the measure is designed to help boost productivity, improve work-life balance, and enable workers to have more time for their families, for rest, and for agriculture. According to the Commissioner, the Ministry of Education expected all principals and head teachers to receive boarding students on Sunday 9th of January and day students on Monday, January 10th, respectively. And in COVID, French authorities say more than 105,000 persons have taken part in protests across the country against the introduction of a new coronavirus pass. A new draft law would in effect ban unvaccinated people from public life. The bill, which passed its first reading in the lower house of France Parliament last week, will remove the option of showing a negative COVID-19 test to gain access to a host of public venues and is expected to come into force on January 15th. Demonstrators in the capital, Paris, have since accused the government of trampling on their freedoms and treating citizens unequally. The Kano State government has partnered with the private sector to inaugurate the Education Strategic Investment and Development Initiative, a 5-year, $500 million project. The project, which focuses on graduate at secondary, vocational, and tertiary levels, will see the state government providing 30% of the funding, while the remaining 70% is to be sourced from donor agencies and grants from international agencies. However, in his remark at the inauguration of the project, the Chief Organizing Officer of the initiative, Abdullahi Yabo, explained that among other core objectives, the project was aimed at boosting school enrollment, retention, and completion rates among Kano children. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has imposed fresh sanctions on Mali. Following the political crisis that has engulfed the country, the body has resolved to impose additional sanctions on the military junta in Mali, withdrawing all ECOWAS ambassadors in the country and closed land and air borders between the ECOWAS member states. After reviewing the situation in Mali at the extraordinary summit held in Ghana, the sub-regional leaders also rejected the transition schedule proposed by the Malian military junta, noting that the proposed chronogram for a transition is unacceptable. And in sport, Australia's Nick Kyrgios has tested positive for COVID-19, casting major doubts over his appearance at next week's Australia Open. The Australian was due to play his first match of the season at the Sydney Classic, but pulled out just hours before his evening clash with Italian Fabio Fognini, the 26-year-old who is widely seen as Australia's best player despite his world ranking slipping to 114th after a lengthy period away from the game, has not played since the Laver Cup in late September last year due to a knee injury. Well, that's all at this time on the newsroom. Do join us at the top of the hour for more updates. Thank you for watching.